Hello, sysfailure here again, and today we're looking at Snapshot 14W30A/B, and yes, that is a massive hole behind me. Yep, a bit of a bug at the moment. F5 view, it kind of thinks that you can't see the bit behind you, which is entertaining. That is related to the first thing I want to talk about, however. And that's, if we look at my F3 screen, other than the fact that it now has extra information in the right there in regards to what display I'm using. I actually have a 1080, but I record in 720 for YouTube, it's easier. And what card I have, 770. That's new information, and there's another bit about Java up above the memory there, which is new. But the things to have a look at is over in the left there, also mentions vanilla, so no mods. But my frame rate at the moment is currently over 300 frames a second. It's dropped a little bit there. But that bit where the C is apparently how many chunks you can actually see. So at the moment, I can see 760 odd. But if I was to sort of wander down here, I can only see 26. And now the frame rate is in the region of 700. So it's not necessarily have a frame rate that fast, but it's there. What that basically is, well, get that out of the way. They've made it so that what you can't see, it no longer renders. So it shouldn't render stuff that's in your vision, and I believe stuff behind other stuff is not rendered, apart from transparent pixelated trees. But as I said, there's still a few bugs at the moment. There's obviously that one you saw right at the beginning, and if I can get in a position, there we go. Just like picture frames, think you can't see them once they're a certain distance away. The world rendering at the moment has the same sort of thing in certain positions. Can I get one on that side? No. So it thinks you can't actually see it and just doesn't render it. But I'm sure they'll get fixed. On the plus side, that does mean that the frame rate for a lot of people is substantially faster than it was. So people who really don't have good machines, because they do exist, well, should get better frame rate, should be playable. Also, the chunk... Oh, there we go. There's a hole right there. The chunk loading normally come in the world and it's quite slow. And if you've got an unlocked frame rate like I currently have there, chunks load really, really slowly. So if I was to do this and reload chunks, that would take a while. But actually, because it's threaded now, they actually go really, really fast and happily uses all the cores. In the case of the processor I have, it's a quad core with hyper-threading, so effectively it looks like 8. So that makes that a lot faster, and the threading means it doesn't really slow down no matter what your frame rate is, which is nice. On to the actual little features that they've actually slipped in. I'm going to talk about these first. These are banners, and as you can see, I've made it nice and pretty. They're stuck in the ground. And they slowly sort of drift back and forward in the imaginary wind that doesn't blow anything else. And this seems to do them in all directions, really. Also, you'll notice for these ones, if they're attached to a wall, there's no actual post underneath them. Now, you would take something like, say, a white banner. There's actually a whole selection of them, if we have a look in here. Various colours, etc. And you just go to a crafting bench, take one, stick it in, and just randomly go around adding stuff. I mean, that would give us the top row, which makes sense. Oops. Say I was to put... not like that. What am I doing? Nope, that's not right. Hang on. Yep, that was what I meant. Do the bottom corner. Like that, perhaps. We've got the side stripe. Half stripe down the middle, and you could just do that, and you could just keep adding bits as you feel like. So I've got, I've got another stripe there, and say I want to put green across the top, and I'll put yellow there. So I've got a stripe across the middle. And then you have a banner. If I can stick it in the ground. And they look like that. You can also use them a bit like curtains as well. So here we have one, a door curtain. Just wander through. Simple case. So stick a fence, not fence, that's not a fence, made out of wood. I blame the sheep. Stick a sign up, and then just stick on the side of the sign. And you won't have a stand, and you can use it as a door curtain. Shame it's not slightly wider, but it gives the impression of it anyway. The other little thing is these noisy little buggers over here. Now, in here, it sounds like a bad joke. A creeper, a zombie, a skeleton, and a wither skeleton wander into an obsidian box. What this is, if we just have a look at them down here, these skulls, you previously get the wither skeleton skull by killing wither skeletons and it randomly drop, but you couldn't get the skeleton skull, zombie head, or the creeper head. Well, in survival you now can, but it is diabolically difficult to get. What you need is one of our little friends. Here is a charged creeper. So the creeper has to be struck by lightning, and then you have to convince him to blow up. Now if we hop in here, did I get any of the heads? No. Okay, didn't seem to get the other heads for some reason there. Let's try that again. I was informed that they always drop, but they don't seem to be doing that just now. Let's try that again. So, creeper, zombie, skeleton. There we go. What did we get? Oh, so this time we got a creeper head. Okay. It was being unreliable. Right. So by the looks of it, they actually only drop sometimes, rather than all the time. Or they just sometimes get blown up. I don't know. There is another thing I want to mention in regards to these banners that I just remembered. Let me just clear space in this inventory. If you middle click on a banner, you would actually just end up with a black one, which is the ones you got there. If you want to actually copy the banner that's there in Creative, you have to hold down Control and click on it, and then you'll get the banner. It's slightly different. You'll see that's the standard banner, and then that's just, says White Banner 15, that's just a banner with the added MBT data. Slightly different, but it's more or less the same thing. Stick in the ground, you're not going to tell the difference. Final thing is up here in this little command block. It's a new little command, and it's this part on the end here. You can now summon lightning bolts anywhere that command is run. And this particular one is set to execute the command at all entities of type chicken. So if you're a Nerdcubed fan and know about those evil ducks masquerading as chickens, you will probably appreciate this. Well, we would do it. Okay, for some reason there's no lightning. Okay, clearly all the chickens have run off and hidden. Never mind, I don't particularly like the cows, so let's just sort them out. That's more like it. And now every cow within render distance, including the ones right over there, have all been zapped by lightning. In the middle of a forest, this is all going to burn down to the ground now. The apparently is also 32 chunk distance rendering, but it doesn't seem to be any options, so I guess I've just been testing it and I've not added it in this snapshot. But there you go, that's about it. Main things are going to be that massive frame rate increase. As I said, the last snapshot, it was really screwing about when I was trying to record with DX Story. I was barely getting over 30 every time I turned that on. Now I'm recording and I'm still getting several hundred frames a second, so substantially better. Anyway, as per usual, thanks for watching and bye-bye. Now, I was preparing the first command, which is what I'm building over there. But at that point I sort of realised it'd be a good idea to give you a couple of sort of preparatory episodes to give you a couple of things to make your life easier when it comes to actually playing with the commands and following along with this series.